There's a very thin, almost invisible line between surviving and living. And many of us are standing on that line, believing we've crossed over to the other side when we haven't. We think we're getting better, but we're just getting better at hiding the pain from ourselves. This is the critical, often missed, difference between coping and actually healing. And today we're going to explore what that really means. Let's get straight into the 6 key differences. Number 1, coping is short-term, healing is long-term. Coping is about survival. It's about getting through the next hour, the next day, the next difficult conversation without falling apart. It's the emotional equivalent of holding your breath underwater. You can do it for a little while, and it serves an immediate purpose. It keeps you from drowning right now. Coping mechanisms are the tools we grab in an emergency. They can be things like distracting ourselves with work, binge watching a series to numb our minds, or even just going for a run to burn off a surge of anxiety. These actions aren't necessarily bad. They are often essential first aid for an injured heart. But the problem is, you can't hold your breath forever. A life spent just coping is a life spent in a constant state of emergency. Healing, on the other hand, is not about holding your breath. It's about learning to swim. It's a long-term process that doesn't just focus on getting through today, but on building a foundation for a better tomorrow. Healing looks at the wound and asks, what does this need to get better for good? Instead of just, how can I stop this from hurting right now? It involves building new habits, new ways of thinking, and new ways of relating to your pain. Coping is a sprint away from the fire. Healing is the slow, steady work of rebuilding the house, so it's no longer flammable. Number 2, coping avoids pain. Healing processes. At its core, most coping is a form of avoidance. The pain feels too big, too overwhelming. So we find clever ways to run from it, push it down, or pretend it isn't there. This is intellectualizing our feelings, talking about sadness without ever letting ourselves feel sad. It's being the person who is always busy, filling every moment of silence, so you don't have to be alone with your own thoughts. This avoidance is a heavy burden. It takes a huge amount of energy to constantly hold back a flood of emotions. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Sooner or later, your arms will get tired, and it will shoot up to the surface, often when you least expect it. Avoidance doesn't make the pain go away. It just stores it in the body, where it can show up as anxiety, chronic tension, or sudden emotional outbursts. Healing takes the opposite approach. It requires the courage to turn around and face what you've been running from. It's the act of sitting down with your pain and listening to what it has to say. It doesn't mean drowning in it. It means observing it, understanding it, and allowing it to move through you. Healing looks like crying when you need to cry. It looks like journaling, talking to a trusted friend or a therapist, and admitting, this really hurts. Coping teaches you to fear your emotions. Healing teaches you that feelings are just visitors. You can let them in, and you can also let them leave. Number 3, coping drains your energy. Healing restores. Living in a state of coping is exhausting. Think about it. You are constantly managing your triggers, constantly on guard, constantly pushing down feelings and memories. It's a full-time job that you don't get paid for. Every social interaction requires a calculation. Is this safe? Can I be myself here? Will I have to pretend I'm okay? That level of hypervigilance drains your battery until you have nothing left for the things that could actually bring you joy. You might feel a temporary rush from a coping mechanism, like the distraction of a new project or the comfort of emotional eating. But afterward, the exhaustion sets in, often deeper than before, because you haven't solved the underlying problem. You've only spent energy avoiding it. It's the reason you can feel so tired after a day of doing absolutely nothing, because you were doing the invisible work of holding yourself together. Healing, while very difficult at first, ultimately restores your energy. When you start to process trapped emotions, you release the energy that was being used to suppress them. When you learn to set boundaries, you stop leaking energy in relationships that drain you. Each step in the healing process is like plugging up a hole in your energy reserves. It's hard work, absolutely. There will be days when facing your past feels like the most tiring thing in the world. But slowly, you'll notice you have more to give. You'll laugh more freely. You'll have more mental space for new ideas. You're no longer just surviving. You're starting to have energy left over to actually live. Number 4, coping keeps you stuck. Healing allows you to grow. Coping mechanisms, even when effective, can keep you tethered to the past. They are built around the wound. Your life becomes a series of reactions designed to protect that wound. You might avoid certain places, people, or even opportunities because they feel too risky. In this way, the past event continues to control your present life. You might not be in the situation anymore, but your choices are still being made as if you were. Your identity can become wrapped up in the struggle. You are a survivor, and while that is a powerful truth, it can become a cage if it's the only story you tell yourself. The person you were before and the person you could become get lost in the shadow of what happened to you. Healing is about integration, not just protection. It's the process of making the story of your pain one chapter in your book, not the entire book itself. Healing allows you to grow around your wound. It doesn't mean you forget what happened, but it means the memory no longer dictates your every move. You start making choices based on your hopes for the future, not just your fears from the past. You learn that you are more than what was done to you. You are a whole person who has experienced pain, yes, but you are also a person with dreams, talents, and a future that you get to write for yourself. Healing gives you back the pen. Number 5, coping builds. Walls, healing sets boundaries. When you're hurt, the natural instinct is to protect yourself from ever getting hurt in the same way again. For many people coping, this looks like building walls. Tall, thick, stone walls with no doors and no windows. The goal is to keep everyone out because anyone could be a threat. This isolation feels safe, but it is also a prison. It keeps out the bad, but it also keeps out the good. It prevents new pain, but it also blocks new love, new friendships, and new experiences. Living behind these walls is a lonely way to survive. You protect the wound, but you starve the heart. It's a strategy born of fear, and it keeps you disconnected from the world and from yourself. Healing dismantles the wall, brick by brick, and uses those same stones to build healthy boundaries. A boundary is not a wall, it's a fence with a gate. You are the one who controls the gate. You get to decide who comes in and who stays out. You learn to say no without guilt. You learn to recognize red flags and walk away from situations that are not good for you. Boundaries are not about shutting the world out. They are about letting the right people in a way that feels safe and respectful to you. It's an act of self-respect. Walls are a sign of fear. Boundaries are a sign of wisdom. Number 6, coping is about control. Healing is about acceptance. A lot of coping is rooted in a desperate need for control. When something bad has happened that was out of your control, it makes sense to try and control everything you can afterward. This can look like trying to control your environment, your food, other people's perceptions of you, or especially your own emotions. You might think, if I just stay logical, I won't get hurt. Or, if I plan for every possible bad outcome, I'll be safe. But this is an illusion. We can't control everything, and the effort to do so is what creates so much anxiety and frustration. It's a fight against the nature of life itself. Life is unpredictable. Emotions are messy. People are imperfect. Fighting these truths is like trying to fight the tide. You will always lose, and you will end up exhausted. Healing begins with acceptance. Not acceptance that what happened was okay. It wasn't. It's acceptance that it did happen and that you cannot change the past. It's accepting that you have certain feelings about it and that those feelings are valid. It's accepting that you are where you are right now on your own unique journey. Acceptance is not giving up. It is the opposite. It's the moment you stop fighting reality and start working with it. It's letting go of the rope in a tug of war with your past. And when you let go, you are finally free to turn around and walk toward your future. Coping keeps you afloat in a stormy sea. Healing is learning to calm the storm inside you so you can finally sail toward the shore. If this video helped you see the difference in your own journey, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that helps you move forward. And for the comments, I have a question for you. Which of these 6 points hit home the most for you? Sharing a piece of your story can make someone else feel a little less alone. Thank you for watching.